Welcome back, ShadowRunners. Back to ShadowRun Returns. As you can see, we left off here. I would like to apologize very quickly for my first episode. I had not realized that I was recording in half resolution instead of full resolution with fraps, so it was a bit blurry video looking back at the footage. It's still legible, you can still read things, but it is noticeably very low res, and I just want to apologize for that. I should have realized it. I had so much issues with that footage that I couldn't bring myself to re-record the whole thing, and it wouldn't seem that good if I re-recorded the whole thing, so bear with the first episode. This second episode should look a lot clearer, hopefully, as you can see right now. Anyway, let's read our mission. The Dead Man's Switch. Your plane hits the sea tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped back seat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders. A legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or dead. If you're hurting bad enough on yen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. Ew. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing Barron's has to a morgue. It seems that this is where Sam Watt's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. Interesting. So, here we are at the morgue, I guess you could call it. I'm in the back, so someone's calling us, yeah. The smell of death and decomposition washes over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Hey, Dresden. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my job." A little more than you'd want or expect from someone in the chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it may be just a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. "Sorry, I didn't expect any visitors at this hour, and some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, ma'am?" "Are you the coroner?" "I'm John Dresden, the organ grinders branch manager here, so yeah, that makes me this franchise area's coroner too. And you are?" "Alex, I'm here about Sam Watts." "Alex, I represent a man named Sam Watts. I'm here to look into his murder. No one you've ever heard of, then tell me about Sam Watts." "Alex, I'm here about Sam Watts." His grin fades. "And what makes you think I know anything about that?" "Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here." "I see. Well, you're right, he's here. Not many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it. Or with it being all the way out here in the Barrens." "So who told you it was dead?" "Sam's do I tell him about my money?" "Sam's digital ghost. When his heart stopped, I got a set and recorded message." Yeah, it's done that. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping his suspicion from his face. "A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here." There he is. Let's go get him. "He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown." "Ripper, huh? I guess the classics never go out of style." He sighs. "Not at my title. That's what the Seattle press insists on calling the killer. All I know is that, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel. But this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from his victim." "Delicious. A trophy hunter. What was it?" "Watts' liver was cleanly cut out." "What about the other lucky contestants?" "First victim's heart was missing. The third had the spleen removed." "McCluskey! Dresden! Get out of here!" "Guess that's a cop." "Well, the cop is talking to him. I'm here about the new Ripper Vic, Sam Watts." Well, while he's talking to the cop, let's look for evidence. Oh, excuse me. A little bit sick. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet. His face is ashen white for the first time without a smirk on it. That's sad. Below the chest there is a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. You would see that the killer knew exactly what he wanted from him and took it. I'm very sorry, my throat's a little bit sore. Alright, there's plastic envelopes. I'm guessing these are evidence. Let's take a look at the business card. Okay, from a place called the Seamstress Union. Something written on the back, but the blood is made illegible. Look at the cred stick. It's a standard cheap unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. Let's steal the cred stick. Put the cred stick in your PDA. 3,000 yen is deposited into your account. Ah, we just stole from a dead person. Alright, let's look at a purple shirt. Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing, and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag slushes a bit in your hand. Look at handwritten note. You're going to see part of the note given the torn off bits and bloodstains. Sam, I feel terrible that we have been long. To say I'm sorry. See you there. Love, Jessica. So he was meeting somebody called Jessica. Interesting. Yeah, that's it. What's over here? We got a medkit. Let's talk to McCluskey here. Towering over the diminutive coroner homicide is a homicide detective right out of central casting. If you ignored the tusked pointed ears and the Neanderthal brow, you could smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away. So he's an orc, I'm guessing, or a troll. Nah, trolls have horns. I'm pretty sure this guy's an orc. So this new Ripper Vic, what? Name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? The coroner frowned, so you insisted at the time. He chortles. Come on, she off the south. I had her on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to Lieutenant's badge. That's my dumb orc voice, by the way. I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while it's still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed with a slim hand that knows how its way around a scalpel. He has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So, I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon. Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from the military field. Surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. You don't know how, dwarf. My dumb voice changes accents every now and then. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You know he has superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? I'm the nobody who didn't hear anything. I'm new in town. I'm a detective in this case. I was hired by Sam Watson to sit you in front of me. But this is a cool option. Because we have 4 points in strength. We put one right at the start of the game, so we are stronger. We now have this extra dialogue that we can say. Because we have 4 strength, we can say none of your business, Lumpy, and sort of intimidate him away. His face contorts in a hideous snarl. You're funny, elf. Maybe we'll find another time to do a little dance later, you and me. He looks back at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell or a box this week and I'm claiming my promotion. Dresden. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? I'm great at dinner parties too. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with you. You really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was there. When I needed him, I'm gonna return the favor. Fascinating. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 UN in a week in his paycheck. Plus, he's on the take. Dresden pauses, considering. You have an honor after a fashion. I try to honor the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you? On the take, what does that mean? On the take, who's paying to hold his leash? I don't know, but someone with a major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. So McCluskey's probably corrupt. What did McCluskey say about Sam's mother? An official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. Sounds like you disagreed with the findings. My name's on a report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there were some unusual bruises on the upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. So this whole thing smells fishy already, you know. There's a corrupt cop investigating his Sam Watts' murder, and this corrupt cop sort of intimidated this guy to drop some findings that he found about Sam Watts' mum. Interesting. What organs are worth these days? I already know that because I know a little bit about the ShadowRun universe. Organs themselves aren't worth a whole lot, like just individual organs, because I think you can grow synthetic things in this universe. Seamstress Union, that's what I want to know. The card, the business card. It's a nearby club in the Barrens that attracts low lives. You'd probably like it. Me, I'm not really the going out type. Alright. I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Dresden looks up at you intently for a moment, speaking. You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers and see if you can find anything useful? Okay, I'll go do that. Alright, so I'm going to poke around here. Let's get some items first. Medkit. And a dock wagon kit, so if someone dies we can revive them. That's over here. I have a feeling though. Yeah, the storage is labeled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure I know who is in here. The cold storage opens to reveal a fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in very good condition. Whoa, easy there. Jake Armitage. For those of you who don't know, ShadowRun, not only is it a tabletop game that's been it's probably 20 years old, but it was also adapted and released into a Super Nintendo game and a Genesis game. And I'm not sure about the Genesis one, but in the Super Nintendo game, you actually played as this guy, Jake Armitage. You were controlling him, and it starts off trying to find out who tried to kill you, because the game begins with somebody trying to kill you, and you wake up in a morgue, so it's not very surprising to find him sleeping here in a morgue. In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. He's got a data jack drilled into his temples and some shamanistic tattoos peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. That is an interesting combination. Another thing to know about the ShadowRun universe is that there's people, there's magic, and there's technology, but technology and magic don't normally go well together. Especially when you're creating a character, you normally pick one, and you'd sacrifice, for example, magic if you wanted to have more technology. But it's a good combination, and there's no reason why you can't do it. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? Doesn't feel like 6. Sorry, didn't expect you to be so alive. Were you just sleeping in a freezer for dead people? Don't tell me you haven't considered it. Cheaper than a coffin hotel, and the service is just as good. That's interesting. He chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I notice you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you're not after me, what's your story? I'm looking into the death of Sam Watts. The coroner seems to think you can help me out. Sam, eh? Glad somebody cares. We used to drink together every now and then over at the Union. We keep hearing this Union place. I bet we got to go there. But obviously we're gonna find out where he died first. Decent enough guy, always in trouble over something or other though. Jack yells towards the side of the room. John, is this lady cool? Yeah, she's on a level. Working for Sam, believe it or not. Had some sort of dead man switch. I thought you could help her out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Thank you for volunteering me. He pauses, might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell behind those shades. This guy looks awesome. Alright then, the name's Jake. And you are? Call me Alex. Nice to meet you, Jake. Jake, I'm Alex. And well-mannered too. Such a rare thing in this city. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right, I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy was hanging around the Seamstress Union that night, tripped down and rowdy. I've been laying low there for a few days after a bad run. Mrs. Kabuta asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But down the alley, some gang has got the jump on me. He winces. Damn, maybe I need some soy cafe after all. John, could you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. Now, what's wrong with this intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. Thanks, John. You're a real pal. Anyway, there's a big fat corp bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles. You get the impression that it didn't work so well. Out so well for the gangers. I can't read today. Sam stumbled off during the fight though, and that's the last I saw of him, until he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last day in this place. Great, so you don't know anything about his death. You've done this before? It's a long story. I end up in the morgue more often than the average guy. Yeah, that's a very good throwback to the original says for the original fans of this game. It's very clever. Yeah, Jake here's a regular. Should have started a rewards card, Jake. A few more visits and you get a free night stay. Jake laughs. I'll hold you to that, John. Anyway, they found Sam's body less a block away from the Union, missing a liver and all. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. The leader's got the whole gang searching at the barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place where Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit these streets alone at night, trust me. Jake eyes you up and down, and maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. I do like a bit of street justice every now and then. Alright, Jake, count me in. Great, I've been hiding out here ever since that run-in with the Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers, but a stretch of barrens is their turf. Hell, I'd be surprised if you made it even here. I'm sorry. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this morgue in one piece without packing some heat. He yells over his shoulder. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. So you need a weapon? Alright, so we can ask for a weapon. Now, I'm just going to check my stats again. See what I have. What do I want? What do I want? I want to check my stats. That does one. I can spend karma. I can't spend karma in mid-conversation. Can't I check my karma? Okay, well, I can just check my stats here. Alright, so, okay, I remember. I just put 4 into strength and I chose no weapons. Wait, I chose throwing weapons? Why have I got throwing weapons 1? I really hope I didn't waste money on that. I don't like throwing weapons. Alright, so what do we want? A pistol, shotgun, SMG. I like to keep my distance. Got a rifle. Alright, happen to have an SMG on you. Spray and pray, fair enough. Take this. It's a little beat up, but it works. Alright. I'm ready. Alright, so we can leave whenever you're ready. And yeah, a bit of an uneventful let's play this time, but I'm sure we'll be killing some gang members as soon as we hit the next area. So I'll just move over to the next area and then this let's play will end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really liking the story so far. This game is... I really like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is very Blade Runner. I haven't seen too much magic yet, so I don't know how it really merges with the cyberpunk theme. But so far, I really like this game. And it's saving, so as soon as that finishes, I believe this Let's Play will end. And we are done. Till next time, guys. See you later.